Friends, buckle up because we're diving into the thrilling world of tax policy. The American economy is facing some serious headwinds, and our elected officials are considering drastic measures, extending the Trump-era tax cuts and slapping tariffs on imported goods. First up, tax cuts. These were a big part of Trump's economic agenda, and they're set to expire soon. Republicans want to extend them, claiming they'll boost the economy. Democrats argue these cuts mostly benefit the wealthy and increase the national debt. Then we've got tariffs, which are taxes on imported goods. Trump slapped tariffs on goods from China and other countries. Now there's talk of expanding these tariffs to include things like steel, aluminum, and even pharmaceuticals. The idea is to protect American jobs and industries, but critics argue that these tariffs will lead to higher prices for consumers and retaliation from other countries. So there you have it, tax cuts and tariffs, two economic policies with the potential to either save the day or send us spiraling into chaos. But fear not, dear citizens, because in the next few sections we'll delve deeper into these issues and hopefully emerge with a better understanding of what the future holds. The Trump tax cuts. A policy so controversial it makes pineapple on pizza look like a universally beloved delicacy. Passed in 2017, these cuts slash taxes for corporations and individuals, promising to unleash an economic boom. Supporters point to economic growth and low unemployment as evidence of their success, arguing that lower taxes put more money in people's pockets, encouraging spending and investment. However, critics argue that this growth was already underway before the tax cuts and that the benefits disproportionately flowed to the wealthiest Americans and corporations. Wages for average workers remained stagnant while corporate profits soared. Furthermore, the tax cuts blew a massive hole in the national debt, which means future generations will be stuck footing the bill. So, were the Trump tax cuts a success? It depends on who you ask. The Trump tax cuts are set to expire in a few years, and the battle lines are already drawn. Republicans are determined to extend these cuts, arguing they're essential for continued economic growth. Democrats are calling for a more targeted approach, arguing that the cuts primarily benefit the wealthy and exacerbate income inequality. Republicans argue that extending the tax cuts will provide certainty to businesses and encourage investment, leading to job creation and economic growth. They claim that allowing the cuts to expire would amount to a tax hike, stifling the economy. Democrats counter that the tax cuts primarily benefit the wealthy and do little to boost wages for the middle class. They argue that the lost revenue could be better spent on investments in education, infrastructure, and social programs. The debate over extending the Trump tax cuts is a microcosm of the larger ideological divide in American politics. It's a debate about the role of government, the distribution of wealth, and the very definition of fairness. Remember tariffs? Those pesky taxes on imported goods that Trump was so fond of? Well, they're back, and this time they're coming for your wallet. The Biden administration is considering expanding tariffs on a range of goods, from steel and aluminum to pharmaceuticals and computer chips. Supporters argue that tariffs are necessary to level the playing field and protect American workers from unfair competition. They claim tariffs will encourage companies to bring manufacturing back to the United States, creating jobs and boosting the economy. However, opponents argue that tariffs are essentially a hidden tax on consumers. When tariffs are imposed on imported goods, the cost goes up, and guess who ends up paying the difference? That's right, you, the American consumer. Furthermore, tariffs often lead to retaliatory tariffs from other countries, which can harm American businesses that export goods overseas. So, while tariffs might sound good in theory, in practice, they often do more harm than good.